So he actually did have a look at Project2el's hand on that Breath of the Unborn turn.
Uh, he didn't have a dancer, but he had a Blood Moon Priest, and it would have spawned a bunch of Wraithlings, and then it's like the Glacial Elemental would have a chance of hitting the Blood Moon, and if it didn't, Project drew uh he drew a Shadow Dancer the next turn.
Yeah, it always
So
happens. Throughout the turn after you needed it.
yeah, so it was rather rough, but what still great to, be able to go and look into it. Well, I guess this flying boy is just gonna get blasted. Yep.
Yeah, it's not the ideal target, but like you may as well, right? There are other plays
And
aren't
gra
amazing.
oh, all right. So before I was saying the best minion for Vanar, and I just realized that you can get the glacial elemental off of the cryo. So it's another point into his greatness.
Things are looking out for it.
Yep.
Yeah, like
So
the thing there is like if I had a what's it called, a War Master, like you're pretty happy to play it
ooh,
just like in an open field, whereas the elemental is so valuable that you like can't just throw it out there. You need to
yeah.
have it protected. You know?
So can definitely do a walls turn here, and clear off the minions and kind of like block where Project can go.
I don't know if you need to. Because this gravity well, like we were mentioning earlier, could just like easily, translate into a Deathfire crescendo for Project2el.
Yeah, looks like Solafid will go
Yeah, no fear.
with that risk. Yeah. Oh, no one plays Grasp of Agony? No, people do. Just as an open decklist tournament, so it's so much weaker. That's
Yeah,
such a great gotcha card. But I think it's good area effect removal.
yeah, it definitely
That's just
is.
accessible.
Maybe you just play one, so they're forced to play around it all game.
Yeah.
Like that's sort of the other side of the open decklist tournament is sure they know what to play against, but you also know that they have to play around it.
Uh, it's total mind games. Just play a Wanderer deck. Just play one of everything. So your opponent's brain just melts over overthinking every turn. Wraithling Swarm looks like. So setting up for some shenanigans very soon.
Yeah, I think now it's snowman time.
Yep. Was okay with the actually the snowman would kill it anyway, right? If DFC happens.
Yeah, I suppose it would. So yeah, there's no reason to be scared. It was only if Project2el could like kill a bunch of walls at once. Yeah, which I don't think they can.
Not with having a target to buff.
Yeah,
They could have they could have dropped like Vorpal. That would have been their best play. Just looking at their deck, they could have accelerated one out.
yeah.
And that's actually a very good card against Solafid because it requires either Mountain or Fox to deal with it. And if it isn't dealt with, it's well, Elemental's not doing the job.
I mean, Elemental could do it if you had like 9 Vespers.
Well, the only way for that is to like play like Sojourner to get a Kujata to get and then you just spam Snow Chasers.
Oh man, that's possible. That's totally a legit thing now with Sojourner. Gee, I'm totally gonna make a meme deck and just try it, just play it until I get that combo off.
I was playing I was just testing some vet artifact deck and I just threw that in for the hell of it and I I got like I got Regalia, so I had Ankh Regalia. I was just like, this is so nuts.
Yeah, actually, I do kind of like Sojourner, and like not necessarily from a competitive standpoint, like the RNG, but like I actually think it might be secretly pretty decent. I don't know.
Uh, it's a weaker sister,
Yeah,
uh, but at the same time, the stronger sister because it pulls from
yeah,
everything.
it's cheaper, and you're in two draw anyway, so it doesn't feel like you're drawing less. I don't know. There just might be like really card hungry decks that you know. There's not loads of great draw in two draw. I mean, partly because you don't need you're drawing two cards a turn, but I'm sure there are decks that like run out of cards, and like it's a possible option for those kind of decks.
Yeah, play zoo, and it opens up. It just replaces itself at worst. At best, it gives you something that wins the match.
Yeah,
It's, I love this play, by the way, by Solafid. Right after Breath was played too. It's just like, yep, it's more walls. And the follow-up turn looks really solid for Solafid. Again, Project doesn't have really good removal for this type of situation. Saw him die to this last match.
yeah. He's got what, 5 minions on board. So actually, no, 6 minions on board. So this Razorback represents like an additional 12 damage. You can't take 12 damage many times before you're dead.
Yeah. And have nothing really to sacrifice either to spam minions of your own.
Yeah.
I do notice that it's a lot of players lack like a lot of dispel. They just play a little bit of it.
Mm.
But how would you feel Lightbender against this wall matchup? Would it
Oh,
well even in your sense of just running one of it so your opponent's threatened at all times?
yeah, that doesn't sound too bad. I mean, obviously, like when you do play it, it should be good. Like, it clears off these walls. Like even dispelling just like some stuff, like Fenrir Warmaster is like basically killing a 3/3. I guess you can get the bear and the glacial elemental as well. Would be okay
Yeah,
targets.
well Project gets rid of some of the stuff here and developing some wraithlings, but still uh n- not enough Vespers, right?
Yeah,
No, can clear most of it, right?
yeah. I think you probably do end up clearing wraithlings. That's like the nice thing about Swarm deck is that Solafid might think, oh, I would like to go face here. But it's really, really threatening if you just leave a bunch of wraiths up. You could die at any moment.
Wonder if we'll see one of the walls turn into a fox. I do know Solafid loves doing that with his walls.
Yeah, I think it's pretty reasonable. It guarantees the glacial elemental proc kills the Knight Star Assassin. You don't want to be
Yep.
killing your elemental.
Nice clean removal. Project's in the same spot as before, but it's worse.
Yep. And that's a pretty good way to like go about thinking about your turns. Is like, what's the end result? Because it's quite easy to like look at trades on board and think, well, this trades up into that and so on. But like a more surefire way to get a good turn is just like think about the end result.
Yeah, that's such a sweet end result. It's I don't even know what Project can do. Can it can't even like whip Revenant. Like it's this is just on 7 mana.
Yeah.
Even if you play Revenant, it won't get to the Glacial Elemental either. Shroud. Okay. What else? What else you got? Oh,
It's not bad, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't really feel good when you never have any minions on board to clear off these gravity wells, and you're just stuck in the same position turn on turn.
yep. It's 2 mana. Do also want to say that Project doesn't play Rejuvenator or Healing Mystic, which were pretty much the most common minions in this event. Almost everyone had it in their decks. So it's both players don't play that. It's a kind of interesting fact about just both decks.
Yep, there are reasons not to run them, but you need a pretty good one. They're really insane cards, like good bodies with healing on them.
Yep.
Presumably, Solo's gonna just swarm the board again.
Yep.
And set up
I
for
think
this big
so.
Razorback. He's held onto it diligently, but I think it's gonna have its time very shortly.
Yeah, I think after seeing your opponent play Breath of the Unborn, you know that your minions are gonna stick now.
Yep.
So we saw him last match replace Razorback almost every time they drew it. This time they're just hanging on to it. Great pickup too at the Aspect of Mountains. Well, I think Project's boned here.
Yes, unfortunately, I think this is going to be the second L.
I just looking at their deck, I'm like, what the hell could they play? It would have to just be. It was legit another Breath of the Unborn. That's it. That's like their only answer. Like even like playing Grass of Agony, they'll do a decent amount, right? Like grass on the bottom.
Yeah, Grass could dig them out a little bit of a problem and kill off like
But
5 minions or so.
yeah, but it still wouldn't be able to get out of the
Yeah,
situation.
might have bought them a turn, but I don't think there's anything they can do in this situation. I don't blame them for like thinking like through their turn what they want to replace, what they could
Yeah,
get. But
it's still like it's like when you get surrounded, you're very limited on options. They're trying everything to get themselves out of it. Just play Rush Minion.
yeah,
They do play Void Pulse, but
and even if you think you're dead on board, like sometimes your opponent messes up. But
yeah. No, especially in a tournament environment, you shouldn't really give up because people will miss lethals, and you may see something, but your opponent won't. But this is Solafid, so
yeah,
if you see yourself dead on board, you probably feel like you're dead. Project extending their hand, saying "Well played, great sportsmanship right there." Yeah, well played to the Razorback. GG.
thanks for giving us a good series. Project2el didn't do it this time, but I'm sure we'll see them back.
Yeah, I believe they also play Songhai, so maybe next event they'll be practicing that so they can bring 2 decks to it. So if I'm wrong, Project, and you watch this, just come out to me and be like, bro, you're wrong. But I believe they've been on both. But GG Solafid going on to the next round.